Hi, grade 11s. Like I said in the stream, I thought I would do a quick little extra review. It's totally optional, you don't have to do it, but some of you have noticed that this can be a little tricky, so I'm going to just do this extra little review here. You can watch it and pause it, you can try and write it down, whatever you want to do, it's totally optional. Okay, so let's do this thing. Okay, so here we go. I've got two options here. One, I could complete the square. To get vertex form. I could also do vertex x equals negative b over 2a. I could even factor it, but I'm only going to go to these two because I only have this amount of room. So y equals negative 2x squared plus 12x minus 10. I like to move that 10. Y plus 10 equals negative 2x squared plus 12x. Factor out the negative 2. Was negative 2x squared plus 6x. Half of that is 3. 3 squared is plus 9. So I've added negative 18 to this side because negative 2 times 9. So y minus 8 equals negative 2 x plus 3 squared. Y equals negative 2 x plus 3 squared plus 8. So I go to plus 3, 2, 4. Each square is worth 2. So I go up to 3, 8 right there. And when I go over 1, I got to go down 2 because it's stretched out. If I go over 3 to 0, I should go down 9, but I really need to go down 18. So that's 8, 12, 14, 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, right there. Oh, sorry, 18. Gotta go down to negative 10. And 1, 2, 3, right there. So that's what my graph would look like. If I want to do it with the other one, Vx equals negative 12 over 2 times negative 2, which is negative 12 over negative 4, which is 3. And then I just substitute that back in. Vy equals negative 2 times 3 squared plus 12 times 3 minus 10, which is negative 18 plus 36 minus 10, which is 18 minus 10, which is 8. And then I just do the same thing. My vertex is 3, 8, and then I just count. And I've already highlighted the important thing here. Here's the formula. H equals negative 16t squared plus 42t plus 3.75. But I know that I want her at 22 feet. So H is 22 equals negative 16t squared plus 42t plus 3.75. Now I got to find what t is. Well, this looks an awful lot like a quadratic equation, except I've got something here instead of just h. So I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to get h equals negative 16t squared plus 42t plus 3.75 minus 22, which is negative 16t squared plus 42t minus 18.25. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is our A, our B, and our C. So we just run it through the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation, x equals, in this case, x is t. So x equals t, which equals negative b minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, which in this case is negative 42, plus or minus the root of 42 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 18.25, all of that over 2 times negative 16. And when you run all that through on your calculator, which I'm not going to do, you get 0.55 and 2.07, I believe. So those are the two roots. So all I got to do is subtract to find the difference, how long she was above that height, because it would look like this, right? There's 22. The graph would go like this. There is where she hits 22. There is where she hits 22. So this time she's above it. So it's like 1.52 or something. 1.52 seconds. But this is the important stuff. All right, here's another question with motion. So A, find Nina's maximum height. Well, isn't a max equals a vertex, right? So all I got to do is find the vertex here. So vertex x equals negative b over 2a, which is negative 7 over 2 times negative 10. Sorry, 2 times negative 5, which is negative 7 over negative 10, which is positive 0.7. So that is the vertex x. Then our vertex y is negative 5 times 0.7 squared plus 7 times 0.7 plus 4. When you run that through your calculator, you're going to get 6.45 meters. That's her vertex y, that's her height. B, how long does it take her to reach the height? We already know that. 0.7 seconds. C, when does she hit the water? So, think of the graph. It must look like this. Off the diving board into the water. I only need that route. Because if I go this way, beyond 0, she can't hit the water at a negative time. So, h equals negative 5t squared plus 7t plus 4. There is our A, B, C. So all I got to do is run it through the quadratic formula. T equals negative 7 plus or minus the root of 7 squared minus 4 times negative 5 times 4 over negative 10. Well, let's just write it over 2 times negative 5. So that's negative 7 plus or minus the root of 49 plus 80 is 129 over negative 10. Now, I only need a positive number here because I can't have a negative time. So negative 7 minus the square root of 129, that's going to be a negative number. So I only need to check the minus. I don't even need to check the positive one. So that equals negative 7 minus the square root of 129 square root 129 is 11.36. So I can go negative 7 minus 11.36 over negative 10, which gets me an answer of, go back to my calculator, there's my root 129, so negative 7 minus 11, oh, forget that, negative 7 minus answer, my old answer, equals that, divided by negative 10. 1.84 seconds. And finally, D, how high was the board above water? Well, that's right here. That's where she jumps from. That's the y-intercept. So that's 4 meters. What is the equation of this parabola in general form? General form is, of course, ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. So I get to get to that form. I have a vertex, so I could use vertex form, which is y equals ax minus 0.5 squared minus 6.25. And I could solve that using either of these 2 points. I'm going to use 3. 0, y, equals 3 minus 0.5 squared minus 6.25. 0 equals a times 2.5 squared minus 6.25. Bring the 6.25 over. 6.25 equals 2.5 squared is 6.25a, so a equals 1. So y equals, a is 1, so I don't need to write it, x minus 0.5 squared minus 6.25, which is x squared minus x minus, plus 0.25 minus 6.25, x squared minus x minus 6. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is, of course, you take the roots. Y equals x plus 2, x minus 3, sub in y equals 0.5 plus 2, 0.5 minus 3, so y equals 2.5 times negative 2.5. So y, negative 6.25, equals a times negative 6.25. So a will equal 1. And then you just put that in there, and you're going to get this anyway. And lastly, a distance question, which everybody's pretty bad at. So in this triathlon, she could swim, she could cycle, and she could run. The distance of the swim is 5k. The distance of the cycle is 30k. The distance of the run is 20k. The speed, she runs at a speed of x. She cycles at a speed of 5x, and she swims at a speed of x divided by 5. And the time, we remember, time equals distance divided by speed. So her time is 5 divided by x over 5, 30 divided by 5x, and 20 divided by x. So let's make these a little simpler, because the time for the whole race must be her swim, 5 over x divided by 5, plus 30 over 5x, plus 20 over x. So let's simplify that. 5 divided by 5x, or 5 divided by x over 5, is the same as 25 over x, because I would multiply by the reciprocal, right? 25 over x. Plus 30 over 5x is the same as 6 over x, plus 20 over x. They all have a common denominator. So the time to do the whole race is 51 over x. So that is A. B. Cynthia can swim at 2.2 kilometers an hour. So Cynthia's swimming speed, x over 5, must be 2 kilometers an hour. Solve for x. X must equal 10. So if x equals 10, how long will it take her to finish the race? 51 over 10, which is 5.1 hours. That's B. C. Our good friend Shatha can cycle at 40 kilometers an hour. While cycling was 5x was her cycling speed times 40, or equals 40, because her speed was 40 kilometers an hour. So x must have equaled 8. So her speed was 51 over 8, which I got to go to my calculator to do that because I'm not good with decimals in my head, because of course decimals are evil. My wife is laughing because she doesn't know why I would say something like that and be so mathist against decimals. It's hurtful to the decimal. It's just doing all it can to survive. I'm just talking because my calculator's not turning on. So screw it, we'll do it old school. 51 divided by 8. 8 goes into that 6, sorry. 6 times 48 to get 3. So it's 6 3/8, which is 6.8 is 0.125. 3 of them, 6.375 hours for Shatha to finish the race. All right. So there you go, a free little review. Whoa, you don't have to have done it, but it's probably a good idea to at least have a look at it. Okay? Thanks, all of you. We'll see you Friday. Maybe we'll see you in the meets tomorrow, but I doubt it.